Okay, welcome to this newsletter. This month, as you saw by the title of this video, we're talking about the blessing and the gift of life and our reasons for taking it for granted, really. So here's how I'm gonna start off. Sometimes I forget that life is a gift and that every day that we get is a blessing. You know, my morning routine sometimes looks like this. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, God, thank you for waking me up. But most of the time I turn off my alarm and I have this internal battle of whether I'm gonna go to sleep or stay up. Ungrateful for the day ahead of me and just thinking about if I'm gonna stay up or go to sleep again. And that's not how it should be. We should be grateful for each and every day that we get, each and every opportunity that we get to live and breathe again, to actually see one another and to care for one another. And it also begs into question of what are you doing with the blessing God has given you? If you had $70 million, we'll say every million is a year, you had $70 million to spend. How are you spending that money that you have? The average male in the United States lives for 73 years. Average female lives for 77 years. But I can guarantee you know people who are in your age bracket that have already gone to see the Lord. So that's the question that I have for you. And for myself, I've been asking myself that question. What am I doing with this $73 million that I have? It's really like $1 billion. Time is invaluable. So what am I doing with this time that I have? Am I spending it complaining? Am I spending it, being lazy? I've been reading Proverbs, as you know. It's been hitting me every day. Am I spending it just on doing things that I want to do, seeking my own pleasure? Am I spending it on serving others? What will people say about the time that I have spent? Will they be like, yeah, he just did whatever he wanted to do, didn't care about anything, and just was hanging out all around? Are they going to say, yo, he was really good about keeping up with the times and the seasons and making sure he was doing everything right? Or are they just going to say, yeah, whatever, he's gone? Those are things I think about. But really, let's be honest. What are you doing with your time is a real thing. I know we've already talked about time and a tithe of time, spending more time with God, but at the end of every day, let's say this is your last day on earth. Can you go to bed knowing that you did the best that you could with the time that you had? And that's really the question that you need to ask. Of course, we do need days to relax. We need days to not worry about certain things or worry about things happening to us. But other days, sometimes we're just being lazy, or sometimes we're just not, our heads are not in the game, or we're being inconsiderate towards others. And so that's my challenge for you. Map out what you're doing with your time and how you can use your time more valuable. Is there a skill that you've been neglecting to learn? Is there a skill that you already have that you haven't been using? I know there's a few skills I haven't been using. I could probably write a few songs. I made one song. I got to make a few more beats and songs. I got to use my film skills. I could be a better photographer than I am, but I don't use those skills because God has given us those talents. He's given us a limited amount of time on this earth. And at the end of that time, he's going to ask us, what did you do with the things that you gave me, that he gave you? And if your answer is, I just spent my time trying to survive, or I just spent my time complaining, or I just spent my time making jokes and laughing with friends, he's going to be like, well, I don't know. Maybe you did spend your time wisely by hanging out with others, but did you spend only you know if you spent your time the way that you should, or only you know if you spent your time with the intentions and with the correct intentions in mind. And so, yeah, that's all I have to say today. How are you spending your time? What are you doing with your time? And if you don't know what you're doing with your time, write down what you can be doing with your time to make your time valuable, because every day is not promised. So use your days wisely. All right. God bless you. I'm going inside.